Hello, fellow divers. After my last video, I was sent to a freedom camp where I was uh, re-educated. Uh, anyway, the Illumina have historically been pretty lackluster. They had like 6, maybe 7 unit types when they first came out. Got some more during the Battle of Super Earth, then nothing for 9 months. Meanwhile, the bots, and especially the bugs, got all sorts of cool new toys to spread their tyranny with. And I'm pretty sure almost everyone can agree on this. The Illuminate are everyone's least favorite faction to fight. But recently, they got not one, but 2 new sub-factions that really up their game. I have not had this much fun fighting the squids since the Battle of Super Earth, which was the first major event that I took part in this game. They make the Illuminate fun to fight once again, and I'm here to explain the new sub-factions and why they're fun to fight and how to fight them. First up, we have the Mindless Masses. Now, the description is a bit misleading. There are 2 Illuminate units that spawn here. The Base Overseers and the Banana Overseers. Not counting Harvesters and Watchers because those are biomechanical and not one of the Squith species. Only 6 unit types spawn in this sub-faction: Watchers, Voteless, Crescent and regular Overseers, Flesh Mobs, and Harvesters. Especially Voteless. I've heard estimates that there are 2 times as many Voteless as usual, and then less of the other units. This new sub-faction is especially fun because first off, it doesn't have the Flying Overseers. Second, it turns the game into a true horde clearer. We have to constantly fight off waves of Voteless and Flesh Mobs and the occasional Harvester. Unfortunately, there's no new units for the sub-faction. It's just a rearrangement of previous units. But it works. It's fun and turns the squids into a horde clearer's fantasy. Here's my loadout when fighting them. Now, keep in mind, this is my base Illuminate loadout, and I think it looks quite nicely against the hordes. Armor. I personally like to bring any of the shockproof armors to the Illuminate. The ones with, I believe it's called Electrical Conduit. Passive, as it will protect you against the Harvesters and Watchers' arc attacks, and the enemy Tesla towers, which will usually one-shot you without the armor. Honestly, I understand this may not be a popular choice, so it's up to your discretion on what armor you want. For primary weapons, I go with the Trident laser shotgun. This thing is great against the regular squids. It pops the Harvester's shields real nice. Can horde clear as long as you don't hold it down and space your shots. The unlimited ammo is also amazing. And although I haven't tested these, other horde clearing primaries like the assault rifles will also work to end the Voteless's transformed tyranny. The Warrant, or Warrant, auto-targeting pistol. This thing is great against Watchers and the Voteless, mostly the Watchers and the Overseers. You don't want more reinforcements coming in as you're already fighting off waves of Voteless. Other secondaries could include the Pocket Flame, aka the Crisper, or the Ultimatum if you use it wisely. Grenade. This one's interesting as I bring the Thermites. Their only purpose is to kill the warp ships quickly when taking out their bases. And although one niche use for it is if you take out the Harvester's shield generator, you can stick a Thermite on the Harvester and it'll actually work because the Harvester's shields won't regenerate. Because usually if you was to stick a Thermite on it, the shield would regenerate and it would not do any damage. The Epoch is great against Harvesters. Pop their shields with the Tridents, then aim for their leg or eye to one-shot them. Otherwise, it will take 2 shots around them. Keep in mind this is a charge up weapon, so be careful. This thing mostly fulfills the role taking care of any harvesters that show up, as they will be a nuisance. They can also kill flesh mobs as with 2 fully charged shots, and while it's not its intended use, it can kill groups of voteless if you're positioned correctly and shoot it right. Backpack. The Warp Pack. It is amazing at getting you out of sticky situations, such as when a harvester being going after you, or you're pinned against a wall. It is also so much fun to warp into an overseer to kill it. But mostly, it is a traversal tool to help you get out of bad situations. I also like to bring the gas strike, or aka spicy air. It can cover your butt when you're making an escape from a group of voteless. You can also use it to destroy warp ships, because the shell itself will crash into the warp ship and kill it. My friend who got me into this game likes the orbital airburst strike on pretty much every front, actually, to deal with groups. And fun fact, I have killed a harvester with a gas strike once. I also like to bring Gary, the Gatling Sentry. I have a love-hate relationship with him. On the one hand, he is amazing at horde clearing, and if he targets correctly, can kill harvesters really fast. But on the other hand, in a pinch, you might not be able to position him correctly to where you're mostly out of his range of fire. And sometimes you do place them correctly, then new groups of enemies show up from a different direction where you are, and you can see my point. You get got. But if you treat Gary right, stay out of his way, he will treat you right by killing all the superverse enemies. As I always say, a Gary a day keeps the tyranny away. Conclusion? The mindless masses make the Illuminate fun by giving Helldivers a fresh horde clearing experience. And it's especially fun because it doesn't include these flying The Appropriators. The Appropriators are the newest sub-faction to try and subvert democracy. They include a unique objective to destroy the Exospire, and a new goal to engulf planets in the Void. This void is the Illuminate Gloom, the Squoom, if you will. If you watched my last long-form Helldivers video, you would know that I love learning more about the squids. And I hope we get to actually go into the void, and maybe even get to go into the Meridian wormhole to see what's on the other side. Fighting the Appropriators, you see no voteless, replaced with other enemies. You will also see a bit more overseers flying and non than normal. Interestingly, the banana overseers are missing from the Appropriators. Moving on, the most important part of the Appropriators is that there are new things to destroy for democracy. First off, we have the Obtruder, a variant of the Watcher. These guys replace the voteless as the chaff enemy of the Illuminate when fighting this sub-faction. They come in groups, often accompanied by a Watcher, and will fly up and around shooting you. They are pretty easy to deal with, a few trident or warrant shots and they're gone. But in numbers they are a threat. The Velociraptor, the Verifier, the Abarometer, the Masturbator? The
Veracitor.
The Veracitor is essentially a repurposed forklift used for war by the Illuminate. And, fun fact, the Veracitor is actually the name of a model of forklift in real life. These guys will charge you and attempt to melee you. When not charging, they will protect their driver by folding their arms. making it extremely hard to hit a cockpit, which is the weak spot. The gatekeepers are essentially the Veracitors with guns and tankier drivers. They're also heavily armored, whereas the Veracitor only has medium armor, but still is tanky. These guys will not cover their cockpit like the Veracitors, but they will make it very hard for you to kill their driver by shooting you a whole bunch. Luckily, these guys are pretty rare, and I've only really seen them on the maps with the colonies. You can deal with them the same way as the Veracitor. Weak spots. Both the Veracitor and the Gatekeeper have 3 light armored weak spots. 2 on the arms, 1 for each arm, and 1 on the back of the cockpit. There's also 1 at the top of the back of the body. The only one you really need to deal with is the one on the cockpit, as if it is destroyed, the pilot will die, and so will the exomech. But you can't always get behind these guys, so let's take a look at some other tactics. So both of these enemies are essentially the same thing, and because of that, you can deal with them in very similar ways. My loadout for the Appropriators is the same as the normal one, but instead of the gas strike, it's the eagle strafing one. Tactic number 1. Eagle strafing run them. This will more often than not kill them with 1 use, but sometimes they move out of the way where only part of the strafing run actually gets them. In this case, you can finish them off with an epoch shot. I've also heard that this strafing run can be used to kill harvesters in 1 run with the shields down, although I have not been able to reproduce this. I'm pretty sure it's fact though. Tactic number 2. Just epoch them. Now the epoch can 3-shot these guys pretty much anyway. The reason it takes so many is because of the high explosion resistance these guys have. But if you're at a distance and the eagle is rearming, this can be a good method to take care of them. 3. Kill their pilot. If you're so lucky and they are not covering their faces in shame, you can knock down their shields with the cockpit with the tridents and then pull out the warrants. The warrants will auto-target the head of the pilot and kill them pretty quickly, faster than it would kill a regular overseer. Now keep in mind, the Gatekeeper seems to have a tankier pilot for some reason. Tactic 4. Gary. Gary is my goat. Gary the Gatling Sentry will automatically target the pilot of the exomechs, shredding through them. The first time I saw him do it, I was so excited. I freaked out. He is amazing at taking these guys out. Just pray to Liberty that a Veraciter doesn't get too close and charge Gary before you can kill it. Tactic 5. Warp into them. I have only been able to do this once, and have not been able to reproduce it. So what happened was a Veraciter charged me. I survived the charge, then attempted to warp behind him. Somehow, I got his cockpit with the warping and killed it. I wish I was recording. Every time I attempted to do it again, I just died. So my theory is that I warped in just the right spot and got just behind the cockpit where the warp's small explosion radius got the weak spot on the back of the cockpit, which is fatal. Either way, it was such an aura moment. I was so excited after that one. Conclusion. The Illumina have long been seen as the most annoying faction in the game, with swarms of voteless, flying overseers ready to shred you, and harvesters. The gameplay was considered repetitive and boring by the player base. These new Appropriators make the Illumina into a funner faction to fight by offering us some new fresh tactics and enemies from the squids. Also, the enemy design is amazing. This is good enemy design. Give us giving us new powerful enemies with lighter armored weak spots, while still having them be challenging, is what we need, Arrowhead. Looking at you, War Strider. Also, I'm just a sucker for any new Illuminate content. I love learning more about the Illuminate, because they are so mysterious and we just have no idea what they're up to. They need to be fleshed out more. I hope we'll get some more new content and more from them soon. Did I just hear you say that you love the Illuminate, Helldiver? No? Off to Freedom Camp with you. Again.